So we're in November, Austin prices are still going down. Let's talk about it. What's going on, y'all? It's Mason Bleasdell, your Austin real estate agent, and we're in the Domain today. Austin's, quote, second downtown, and honestly for pretty good reason. It's becoming a really cool place, but it sounds cliche to say it, we're already in November, which I still kind of can't believe just how fast this year has gone by. But we now have all of the closed statistics from the Austin Metro for October. And like I hinted at in the intro, we're down again another month. Now, a little bit of that is seasonality, but we're gonna talk about this more in depth in a second. A few things have happened just this week even that are going to continue to affect things. The first, obviously, there's some seasonality to the market. As we get closer and closer to Thanksgiving, the Christmas, that December holidays, statistically, man, I can't say that 5 times fast. Statistically speaking, the market does taper off a little bit. We do see a little bit lower prices. That's usually when my investors start buying. So it's kind of that weird time of year. In my own experience day to day, we're seeing even the good houses sitting on the market a little bit longer. But even this week, interest rates did drop under 8% for the first time we've seen a drop in over 6 months. So that's fantastic. And I think that gives a little bit of hope for stability. We might kind of see where that bottom is. And yes, Austin's dropped. It's not a huge drop, but let's jump just straight into it. So first thing I want to talk about is some current stats. So these are a great indicator of what we're going to see for next month. In the last 7 days, from November 1st to November 7th, the day we're filming this, we saw 864 new listings. That's down, pretty typical for this time of year compared to what the summer is, but normal seasonality of the market. During that same week, 679 homes went pending, but we saw 1,559 price drops during that same week. Again, a little bit of that is seasonality, so none of this is like crazy abnormal. That number of price drops is pretty substantial though, just compared to what we're seeing. Normal in that November, December timeframe where we are right now, a lot of sellers, are starting to feel just like that lower transaction volume happening, and they start to become a little bit more inclined to sell. Again, that's why my investors usually try to buy around now. Now, there's less inventory to choose from. I wouldn't say necessarily, especially if you're looking for like that forever home or that dream home, if it's on the market now, see if we can get a good deal on it. I wouldn't necessarily suggest like waiting to buy until this time of the year because again, there's less to choose from. But these are some interesting stats that we'll eventually see reflected come those November, December statistics once those have all closed. But let's jump into October. We now have the full month's statistics. Again, this is from the Austin Metro, and these closed statistics are indicative of about 30 to 60 days ago, prior to it. So the homes that went under contract in September that closed in October, that's kind of what we're looking at. So to start off, first we saw a volume of 2,530 homes sold. That is down a little bit from September closings, but September closings went under contract, July, August. So that's pretty typical to go down. Again, that's just a seasonality thing. We saw an average sales price of $551,107, down pretty substantially, to be honest, from September. That's a good 2-3%. Average percent of list price to sales price at 97.2%, almost the same as the month before. Average price per square foot, again, entire Austin Metro, down to $254 per foot. That's down also a good couple percentage off of September. Average days on market, basically the same. Talk about the medians for October 2023. Median sales price at $426,000, down from $440,000. In that September, again, that's looking back at the end of the summer. This is a little bit typical. Median percent list price sales price at 98%. Median price per square foot was down just a few cents at $221 a foot. Median days on market remain the same at 40. Now, what can we conclude from this? We can conclude that a little bit of this is normal, a little bit of it is the typical seasonality that we see around this time of year. That said, there's definitely downward pressure on it, and a lot of that's driven by interest rate, and the interest rate's really affecting that like $700,000 and below market. Those are typically your first-time home buyers. They're typically the people who don't have substantial down payments. And that like 700 plus market isn't being affected as badly. And typically that's because those are folks who have moved, they're taking huge chunks of equity that they have from the crazy rise in sales prices to be able to put that down on the new house. So anyways, we're seeing that effect a little bit. We're seeing a little bit of normal seasonality. All those things, you know, this is only a couple percentage different from what we've seen. I wouldn't think it's substantial. I wouldn't think that it's like world ending if you're thinking about selling your home, but it's a good data point just to keep an eye on the market. And this is one reason why, again, all my investors start buying in this late time frame of year. Now, looking back though, let's reference to October 2022, 1 year ago, just to get like an idea of where this is coming from for that year's seasonality. Now again, October 2022 was right when interest rates basically doubled. Now at that point, they're only around 6%, so it's not the 8 that we're seeing now. But at this point, a lot of the crazy like COVID market we saw is long gone. October 2022, we saw 2,599 homes closed, almost identical. Average sales price at 577, so a little bit higher than what we're seeing now. List price sales price ratio at 98%, basically the same as what we're seeing now. A very similar average days on market at 41. Median sales price was 460,000, so up a pretty good bit from where we are this year. Median percent of list price sales price again at 98, on target with where we are now. And the median days on market a little bit lower than where we are. They were at 27 at that time. So a lot of that is interest rates are still at 6. 2% higher makes a pretty substantial difference on your monthly payment. All of these things have an effect. So lastly, here's kind of my personal thoughts for what I think is going on and what I would tell my clients, you guys, to expect moving forward. You know, this dip in interest rates, which just happened yesterday as of the time we're filming this, was really a good sign. I think it's gonna bring back some stability. A lot of the buyers that I talk to every day are kind of sitting on the sidelines trying to figure out what to do, trying to figure out, you know, where prices are going, how their affordability is gonna be affected and whatnot. Having a dip in interest rates, I think is gonna bring some confidence back. Now, it's gonna take a little while to get full confidence back, but I think it's a step in the right direction. We shall continue to see. Now, as we march towards December, we've got a couple more Fed meetings coming up, and then again into the new year. We'll continue to see how those phase out. You know, none of these statistics are too abnormal from what we're used to seeing. So I definitely don't think it's world ending. And at the end of the day, 2,530 homes transacted just in the Austin metro last month, making us one of the strongest markets in the country, especially when you consider that Austin's not that large of a city when comparing to some of the bigger places, you know, even just Houston or Dallas down the street from us. So if you're thinking about moving here, there's a lot of really good opportunities. If you're thinking about selling, it's still not that bad. Now, buyers are being more picky than ever because there is more inventory to choose from. The good houses are even sitting for a little bit, which is starting to become a little bit of a, like, we're having to work hard for it. Right now, it's more critical than ever to make your home move-in ready, to price it appropriately, and market it as absolutely best as possible, because those few buyers, we gotta get their attention. If you want to talk about this a little bit more, I'd love talking about this stuff and the nuances of your home in particular, your neighborhood, your community. Reach out, call, text, email me anytime. If you're looking to move to Austin and you want to know what all this is going to mean for you, do the same. I'd love chatting with you guys about this. Thanks for joining on this month, and I'll see y'all next time.